Welcome to The Money Hour with host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC. Now, in the studio, local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome to the Money Hour on 11:50 a.m. KKNW, the Saturday, December 8th show. Hoping you're all enjoying your holiday. I love the little jingle bells that Gary brought in for the show. Thanks, Gary. Give a shout out and happy holidays to our amazing engineer and creator of the whole show here. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts bringing in expert advice and inside knowledge on today's events and how it can affect your economy. That's what the show is about. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, it's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And the lineup for our show today, Vincent Humphrey of Humphrey Associates. Top questions answered by a divorce attorney. Also in studio, Stephen Cohen of Take It On Today, The Power of Accurate Books. And our last guest in studio, Jeanette Baton of Dynamic Designs Jewelry, creating a personal and emotional investment and celebrating your big wins. Great information and great guests in studio today. For more information on any topic discussed or topics you'd like to hear on future shows, please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And a little money chat.
Money.
A little conversation between Keelan and I just to share a few things. I'm just really excited. I want to announce for the holiday and starting for the new year, my intent. All of our regular listeners know that I have a coaching program that I do for business professionals, my One Time Your Business 8-week burn, which is a live virtual online course, which means no matter where you're at in the world, you can participate in this. And it's really about time management and business efficiency. The why behind it is so you can live your dream now, live the life that you want to live. And my intent of moving forward for 2019 is to run this exact 8-week course that I do for business professionals, but do a separate one every week all the way through 2019. And I'm sure for the rest of my working career for teenagers that are underprivileged but excelling in school. I just would really love to create a space for them like I have for business professionals. And of course, it would be complimentary. And I think that my story of tragedy to triumph can be an inspiration in their personal life, and the tools and techniques that they'll take away from the course will set them up for success at a very high level in their professional life. So if you're listening to the show today and you know a teenager like this, or you have a connection to an organization that works with teenagers that could use this program, I'm just really excited about it. And, you know, Keelan, I know that you've had some successes this week when it comes to our mortgage and mortgage practice. What was going on?
Well, we never shout out to our team. Our team is amazing.
It is the holidays. That's such a great idea.
It is. We got to holler. We got to give a shout out to Mark and
Mark's our loan coordinator.
Yeah, Lisa is amazing.
Lisa's our processor.
And Victoria, who's the glue of everything. Me and Tina have a team. We build our own businesses. We share this team, and we're extremely lucky. It's like the Ferrari of mortgages, is what I call it. So I really appreciate them. As well as we are prepared for things that come across our desk, and why I love our jobs. It's like a story problem for there's no two files you'll ever get that are the same. And I hate to call them files. These are families and individuals that are purchasing home and making the dreams come true. And you get some challenges and some curveballs thrown at you no matter how well you prepare. And our team is incredible, and the things that they've done. Just closed a loan in 17 days, and I think Lisa saw it for 6 of those.
Yeah.
So insane what these guys are doing.
Unbelievable.
To meet our obligations.
Well, Victoria, I fired my husband. He worked for me for 8 years, and Victoria took his job, so she's got to be awesome.
Yeah.
She's the executive assistant, executive marketing, executive everything.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fantastic, and we appreciate her and our team. And I appreciate you, Tina. You're very modest about your coaching program, but for those that are listening, I've had a lot of high-level coaching, and I've seen none better than this program. If you want to improve your life, your efficiency, your business, your mindset, holler at Tina and get on that course, because you will learn a lot. In fact, I'm taking it for my second time because there's so much good information that I didn't feel like I retained everything and got the most out of it, because there's so much info provided. So kudos to you. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Keelan. Well, and that's a little money chat for you today. Coming up next on the Money Hour, top questions answered by a divorce attorney, Vincent Humphrey of Humphrey Associates, right here at 1150 AM KKNW, after this short break.
Never imagined your marriage would be ending? Not sure if you're going to be the weekend parent? How long is the divorce process going to take, and who can you trust? The attorneys at Humphrey Associates understand that these are just a few questions that may be going through your mind. You're not alone, and they've helped many people in your same position. Their mission is to serve you while you get through this difficult time. Divorce and parenting plans are difficult enough. Working with an attorney shouldn't be. Humphrey Associates is committed to providing affordable legal services that you can trust. You need good, solid legal advice that isn't going to cost a fortune. Worry no more. To schedule your free consultation, just call 206-946-8580 or go online to halegalteam.com.
Hi, this is Vincent Humphrey. Go ahead and give us a call today at 206-946-8580, or you can reach us online at halegalteam.com. Again, that's 206-946-8580 or online at halegalteam.com. Love to hear from you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Well, welcome back to the Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell.
And co-host Keelan Harvey.
Local mortgage experts right here at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, December 8th show. It is a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about: how to make money, how to keep your money, have a better quality of life for your family, and to be able to give back to the community like you want to. And if you're hearing our show at a different time of day, you are listening to rebroadcast. To talk with any of our guests for questions that you have, feel free to call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, we have Vincent Humphrey of Humphrey Associates. Top questions answered by a divorce attorney. Vincent, thank you so much for coming back in studio. I love to have you here representing the law and how to get yourself out of trouble or keep yourself out of trouble. So thanks for coming back in.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, both of you. Glad to be here.
And a little bit about Vincent. Vincent is an attorney at Humphrey Associates PLLC, which focuses on family law and civil litigation. His passion is bringing justice and clarity to those in need. His experience allows him to work well in many different situations, and his service first mentally allows him to break past the toughest scenarios. Vincent holds a Juris Doctor degree from the University of Idaho College of Law and a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Washington. He has advised executives from Fortune 100 companies as well as the working man and woman at the local grocery store. Vincent participates in various of legal organizations in King County where he mentors other lawyers and is interested in helping good people going through tough situations. Vincent was just selected by Super Lawyers as a rising star for the state of Washington, and distinction that no more than 2.5% of attorneys can get. Congratulations on that, Vincent. That's new since the last time that we've had you in studio.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome. Vincent, you stud. Look at you go.
He looks like a stud, too. He always comes in here so dressed nice.
He's a bona fide stud. That's a fact.
He's blushing over there.
Hey. So Vincent, tell us, you get all this noise, I'll call it, about attorneys and who and what. And so, in your opinion, how the heck do we find ourselves a good attorney?
First of all, Merry Christmas, everybody that's out there. Happy holidays, all of that. It's always a pleasure being here. Go Huskies. We're going to the Rose Bowl, so for all my dogs out there, go dogs. And Merry Christmas to my kids and my wife as well. Just throw that all out there.
That's awesome.
That was very great.
Yeah, just throw it out there. Now that the question, how do I pick a good attorney? It comes to our office all the time, and it's hard, right? Because you've got blogs and you've got websites and you've got people saying I've got this award and well, Dr. Seuss was a doctor too, right? On and on, right? So how do you know? Especially, primarily we do family law, which is divorce and parenting plans and child support, but we do some other things, but holistically, right? So if there's a listener out there that says, I need an attorney for something, how would I know? And I think one of the distinctions of having a conversation with a client just a couple of days ago, and I said, to me, the distinction really turns on managing expectations. And I think that really goes with a lot of professionals holistically, in mortgages or real estate, on and on, jewelry even. Can you manage my expectations between what it is that I have in my mind as what's reasonable or what makes sense and the reality of that request? Sometimes it might be a price situation where, sure, we can do that. Maybe that's not something economically that you want to do for whatever reason. Maybe it's too much, maybe it's not enough, whatever it is. But being able to manage those expectations, I think that's kind of the hallmark. And then beyond that, can you explain it to me, right? Yeah. I understand, sure, I've got a legal background and I can use legal words, but when you walk out of my office, does it make sense to you? Can you regurgitate that to a spouse or a partner or a friend? Because I am intrinsically aware that once you leave my office, there's somebody you're going to call. Hey, how'd it go? What did the lawyer say? What are our chances? And in that conversation, for me, I think that is one of the hallmarks. If you can be able to have a client, a patient, a customer, be able to leave your environment and have that next conversation.
Be able to say exactly what makes total sense. They understand what their options are and what exactly you were able to, that you said. So hopefully right now in the holidays that there's not people that are going through divorces, but if someone is there a limit to what partners can ask for?
Even given the holidays, as I'm sure you've been in business for years, everything has a cycle. So right now in kind of the family law cycle, it kind of bottlenecks because people kind of grit their teeth and say, I'm going to get through. I got through Thanksgiving, but gosh darn it, this is the last Christmas I ever.
So in the new year is really busy.
It's huge, right? So for the family lawyer.
It's kind of like getting a mortgage too. When people are shopping for home, they kind of put it on pause for the holidays. And then as soon as the new year hits.
Right? New home, new spouse, all of that.
Oh my God, this is so bad. We are not giving any suggestions.
At all. But to somebody out there, this is a reality. And they're like, you know what? Right on. That is it. So we call that like the can question. Well, what can they do? And I say this pretty routinely as well. It is possible to go to McDonald's and order a pizza, right? We can go there right now. We can order a large pepperoni. I like meat, so it would be a large pepperoni with bacon and, a side of wings or breadsticks and a 2-liter. You can do all of that. And that kind of ties back to the other question about, well, what about the expectations? How realistic is that? Because either they will laugh at you, they'll entertain it, give you a number, and you come to the window. At the end of the day, afternoon, morning, whatever, fourth meal, you're still not going to leave with that order or that expectation. So a lot of times what becomes difficult, especially in litigation, family law or some other civil, other than maybe criminal, there's a whole lot of creative things that people can ask. And so my response viscerally to that is they can. It's not so much what are they asking for. Again, pizza at McDonald's, it's what are you going to leave with?
Yeah.
Hopefully not pizza at McDonald's. I'll tell you that.
You wouldn't want it.
No, I don't know what that would consist of. I don't know. I'm sure they could do it though.
Oh, I saw how the chicken McNuggets were made, and that's pretty scary.
Made with real chicken now. No.
Yeah, the old play on words, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, what are some things that courts like to see when you're actually presenting a case to them? Like when you have speaking of expectations. What should you expect when going into a court and presenting a case?
I think it's always the best practice when you are presenting to court, an arbiter, or maybe it's HR at your job or something along those lines. But more specifically for the court, they want you to be reasonable. So if you are going to ask for something or to say something, be reasonable. Now we also, there's a term that comes up in law school where they say, well, reasonable minds may differ. Well, that's true. But if you
Especially in the law.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's on and on. And so to that, if you can come off and back that up in some way, right? Either there's a picture, there's a message, there's an email, something to help validate your request, it goes a long ways, because that can question goes so far. People bring that up all the time, but realistically, you've got, in the court context, you've got a judicial officer sitting in a robe that is hearing this over and over and over. Even if you watch court TV, I'm not really a big fan of that, but even in court TV, if you look at it and you see the person that presents and has either some objective feedback or something that can back up their claim, regardless of what's being said, even Judge Judy is going to give that person at least a certain level of deference and attention.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about efficiency. I mean, you want to go in and have high efficiency and be
One time
this process and be prepared when you're going to court. So, Vincent, what do they, what would a judge not want you to present?
Absolutely the other side of what I just said, right? They don't want you going in there and just talking about how unicorns fly over the rainbow and gosh darn it, if we could just catch lucky, the charms are there and because the pot of gold is at the end of the rainbow.
And they don't want to hear the story behind anything. Leave it all out.
Just present your case in a way, and I know this is kind of broad and, without going into specifics, right? And it really is on a case-by-case basis. You want to be able to be as reasonable as possible. When you go into the other things, emotionally, it may make you feel good. And we have those conversations with our clients all the time. Emotionally, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but legally speaking, no.
Yeah.
Just
well, and
no.
same with you as their attorney. You want to keep the emotional side out of it, which connects to the storytelling, because, you're on the clock. And so they really want to be prepared throughout the process, meeting with you and then taking that's kind of a preparation to go into court.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you manage people that come in? I'd imagine they're really upset. This is a tough thing emotionally for people. I'd imagine there's some bitterness probably involved. Like, how do you manage two parties and really trying to... how do you manage that? Do you see a lot of crazy expectations like, I want the lug nuts off your vehicle, like stuff like that? Or tell me about
the
that.
ring off your finger or the boot off your foot.
Yeah.
Not both of them, just one of them.
Just
Because I
one.
want you to feel that. Just one boot.
Just one.
It happens all the time. And I think this comes with just maturity and growth, even on our own part, is just understanding that our office isn't for everybody. And that's okay, because we take really kind of a no-nonsense approach when it comes to that. There are plenty of attorneys out there that will make the pizza at McDonald's argument, and that's really what I call it. Plenty that will do that. To me, it makes no sense. The courts don't like it. But if you're going to pay $1, they're going to take it. And so basically what you're hearing here is how I have kind of that first consultation where I say, I'm not going to hold anything back. I've just learned through life, amongst other experiences, I'm going to be open. And if that doesn't work for you, that is okay. That's
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, we always talk about you really need to pick the right client, because if it's not the right client for you, you're not the right person for that client.
Yeah.
And so it's a disservice to everybody involved if you don't do
stressful?
that workup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm a no stress person. I talk about turn stress into success. So any stress that I have, I'm figuring out how to turn it into success very, very quickly. So Vincent, let's talk about paperwork. I mean, Keelan and I in the mortgage industry, there's a lot of paperwork, and kind of being able to manage and navigate through that and work that through efficiently. Talk about that.
So organizing your paperwork, I know I've said that before on this show. It matters so much. Coming in and having it chronologically, that's really the best way. Chronologically, keep them together. If you can have it, if you have an attorney, great. A lot of them now are, and I know our office does as well, scan them in to have them electronic. Even if you're riding solo, we call that pro se. If you're pro se, also have a backup. You don't want to be in a situation where you seriously need a document and you just cannot find it.
Well, and also, Vincent, kind of like with a tax preparer, we've got a bookkeeper here today. And, I always told Dave, because my husband does all of our he sends our taxes to our CPA, but I tell him, go through all the documents and only send him exactly what he wants. Because if you send him all this other stuff, you have an Excel spreadsheet, so don't send in all the receipts and things. He'll let you know if he needs it, because he's got to go through that and it's going to cost more money. So same thing in your line of work as well, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
If we didn't ask for it, please don't send it. Please.
Story of our lives.
Don't
right?
send it.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
story
send
of our
it.
lives, we don't want to see it.
I don't
need
wanna
to
see it.
I don't want to know
or-
about it.
I didn't ask for it. I don't want it. In fact, I don't even want to deal with it. So what happens if things don't go your way, Vincent, in court? Where can you go from there?
A couple of things. I mean, there's an appeals process kind of all the way around in general, and I guess I'll just put that as a caveat, but there's usually some sort of appeals process, and in that process, understand it is a quick turnaround. A lot of times, like in King County Superior Court, you got 10 days. So, depending on where you are, you want to check with either your attorney or the court to say, if something happened that I'm not okay with, how much time do I have? Beyond that, if you're not sure if you're going to get locked in, because sometimes there's mediation or arbitration that will bind you to certain things, kind of like signing a contract. If you don't know, please ask somebody before doing it, because in certain respects, there may not be a way to undo what you've done.
Yeah. So, Vincent, as we wrap up our time here, let's talk about the retainer. And I mean, that's a good thing to wrap. I know maybe that's not the best thing to wrap up with, but
Big old smile.
in 1 minute, Vincent.
Money.
Retainer.
So we. All right. To me, the big thing, and I tell my clients, I liken it to gas. It's just kind of like filling up your tank. So every time you turn it on, every time you go somewhere, it's using up just a little bit of that. So to the extent that you can, one time it put all of your stuff together in one email, batch that together, you will do yourself nothing but favors. So a lot of people don't know, well, what's a retainer? How does it work? Every time you send an email, every time you call, every time you have a thought and engage your attorney with that thought, it's going to use just a little bit of that gas.
Yeah. Vincent, thank you so much for coming back in studio. Always love seeing you and love you representing the space for law.
It always goes so fast, but thank you so much.
I know.
Merry Christmas. Always
Merry
good to
Christmas
see you
to
as well
too,
as
my
you.
friend.
Truly Christmas.
Coming up next in the Money Hour, the power of accurate books. Stephen Cohen of Take It On Today, right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW after this short break.
Never imagined your marriage would be ending? Not sure if you're going to be the weekend parent? How long is the divorce process going to take, and who can you trust? The attorneys at Humphrey Associates understand that these are just a few questions that may be going through your mind. You're not alone, and they've helped many people in your same position. Their mission is to serve you while you get through this difficult time. Divorce and parenting plans are difficult enough. Working with an attorney shouldn't be. Humphrey Associates is committed to providing affordable legal services that you can trust. You need good, solid legal advice that isn't going to cost a fortune. Worry no more. To schedule your free consultation, just call 206-946-8580 or go online to halegalteam.com.
Hi, this is Vincent Humphrey. Go ahead and give us a call today at 206-946-8580, or you can reach us online at halegalteam.com. Again, that's 206-946-8580, or online at halegalteam.com. Love to hear from you.
If you're thinking about getting engaged and don't know where to start, call Jeanette at Dynamic Designs Jewelry today. Jeanette is a personal jeweler you can trust with award-winning design experience and attention to detail that has impressed her clients for 35 years. As a diamond importer, Dynamic Designs offers a wide selection of diamond choices to fit any budget. With a large selection of designs from modern to vintage styles, Jeanette will make selecting the perfect ring easy and stress-free. Call Dynamic Designs to visit their Kirkland showroom and start creating jewelry memories to last a lifetime.
Hello, I'm Jeanette with Dynamic Designs Jewelry. Working by appointment allows me the time to learn the design elements she likes, her lifestyle, and together we will come up with ideas to create the ring of her dreams. For more information, call us today at 425-827-7722 or email me at info@dynamicdesignsjewelry.com.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell.
And co-host Keelan Harvey.
You're a local mortgage experts, and I'm just not going to get over the jingle bells. I'm going to want to take it into 2019.
Santa just keeps flying by.
Love it. We're here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time. If you're listening to our show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or you connect you with the amazing guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150. 750 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, we have Stephen Cohen of Take It On Today, The Power of Accurate Books. Stephen, thank you so much. First time in studio. We're really happy to have you here.
Pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And a little bit about Stephen. The most important thing you should know about Stephen is that he is passionate about business owners feeling empowered and making well-informed financial decisions with a partner that they can trust. Stephen is committed to serving small and mid-sized businesses by offering them 24/7 financial services on or off-site. He is flexible and provides his expertise by really listening to what his clients' needs are. Whether you are starting a new business or have been in business for a while, Stephen will support your bookkeeping needs with a perfect blend of expertise and personal service. His goal is to be a virtual resource for your business and create a powerful partnership.
So, Stephen, I mean, me and Tina know why bookkeeping is important. We see things.
And I know not to do it. I need to hire somebody else to do it for me.
Yeah, that's one. Going back to one time. Yeah.
Embrace your strengths, iron out your weaknesses.
You nailed it. There we go. Stephen, tell us, why do we need a bookkeeper?
Well, the truth is that there's a lot of business owners out there that would rather not keep their books, that they just love doing what they do, and they would do their books based on what's in the bank account, and when bills come, they pay them. But the real reason you need to do it is you have to do it for the regulatory outside agencies, the IRS, the Department of Revenue, all the payroll agencies. That's the reason to do it for them. But for yourself, you get the information. You get really the straight story about how your business is doing, and you can get it on a regular basis and make decisions. So that's the real reason to do it for yourself.
Yeah, and kind of like in the mortgage industry, I mean, whether you love doing bookkeeping or not, I will say that I definitely do not. But some business owners may love that. They may love the hands-on of being able to manage that process. But the reality is you're a business owner, and whatever expertise that you have in your profession, there's only so much time in the day. So being able to be an expert in that and a bookkeeping, which is not your profession, there's not enough time. And so I love that, Stephen, really being able to protect your business by making sure that you're doing what you need to do. So, Stephen, what are the most important things to think about when deciding how to set up bookkeeping?
Simplicity. It's amazing how folks make it so complicated, but they don't realize that the reason they're doing bookkeeping for their own information is also to do a tax return at the end of the year. And if you've ever taken a look at your tax return, it's the simplest thing in the world. I brought in this amount of money. Cost of goods was this. Payroll, there's 10, 15, 20 at most buckets. And then you have a bottom line. So why make your books any more complicated than that? And there's one pet peeve I have, which I'm going to share with folks right now. And that is there are a number of people that have amazing point-of-sale systems that give them all this valuable information. They take their money through the point-of-sale system, and they think that they need to now go duplicate the point-of-sale system in their bookkeeping. And you absolutely do not. They can run side by side. You can have 20 different products you sell in a store, and in your bookkeeping, it all just goes under retail sales.
So efficient, yeah.
The old KISS method never fails, right? So why should you not do your own bookkeeping? Like specifically, what is your thoughts on people that are trying to just do their own books?
I think it's a great idea, especially in the beginning of your business, because you really can learn and you can get a handle on it. And the truth is, business is about numbers. You know, a bookkeeper, $65, $75 an hour. And if you have the time, you do it. But it gets to a point where you start to look at yourself, and Tina more than anyone knows this, is you really have to value your time. I mean, a business owner should think their time is worth a couple $100 an hour, probably, in my opinion. So then it gets to the point that if the money's there and I understand the bookkeeping and I can make sure I can trust and verify what the bookkeeper's doing, then it might be time to let it go.
Yeah, and that's go ahead, Keelan.
No, sorry.
You can interrupt me anytime you want to.
Oh, thanks, Tina.
I do it my share of times.
Once in a while, once in a blue moon. You know, it's all about the data, too. How do you project your success and future and where you're really at in your business if you don't even know what's actually going on? I mean, in my business, Tina's business, we're always looking at where our time is best used and what we can do to improve. If you don't even know your temperature, how do you know, like, where you're at and what you need to do, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And, you kind of already answered my question, but when do you know when to hire a bookkeeper? So you talk about when you first open a business, it's a good idea. But if you're talking to people that are listening to the show right now that have not had a bookkeeper for years in their business, what are they feeling that they know they should take that leap?
Well, I like to be a little of a wise guy because
You are kind of a wise guy,
I'm back
Stephen.
east, and in the moment right here, one of the great ways you know it's time to need a bookkeeper is when they threaten to call this man 2 spaces over to my right.
The attorney.
Vincent.
I mean, if you're married, your
Yes.
spouse will tell you when it's time because you will literally be working on your business 24/7.
Yeah.
You'll be going home you'll be doing the bookkeeping at home because you'll be
point.
too busy during the day, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Come on, I want to be with you. I want to
Yes.
hang out."
Yeah.
Tell us, Stephen, what is real-time bookkeeping?
Well, I'd love to say that that's something that I created, but
Yeah.
it really isn't. But what it did was create an entire new career for me in bookkeeping because technology, you basically can connect your bank accounts, your credit cards, everything right into QuickBooks Online. This is not an advertisement for them, but it sounds like it. And every day you just click refresh, and everything feeds in every day in real time.
Yeah, and technology is so amazing in the spirit of one-timing. It's amazing how technology is so one-timing, not just for our business, but for our personal lives. I mean, gosh, we don't even have to go into the grocery store anymore if we don't want to. And it's going to continue to get, even better as time goes on. So, Stephen, what is Bookkeeping Plus consist of?
That I did create. I'm glad you asked.
I always have such great questions.
I don't like to make bookkeeping sound any more elegant and complex than it is. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a jeweler. Bookkeeping is more or less data entry, in my opinion, if you learn it and you do it right. What Plus is if you've owned a business before and you understand business models, what's an appropriate percentage for cost of goods, cost of occupancy, cost of labor, marketing. You're doing the bookkeeping, but I do it with an awareness because I understand multiple different types of business models. Then I'm able to go back to the business owner and say, this percentage looks too high. They don't often know why they're not making money, but it's sort of doing the bookkeeping with an awareness of what is the business doing. Just not seeing a transaction, putting in its little bucket. It's another level of awareness.
Love that.
That's important data. People just get this wild idea of
I love data.
Me too. It's amazing. Like you can figure a lot out by your data and know where you're at. I've had 5 buddies who are like, let's go open a bar. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool, but like, do you know anything about profits or like where's your moneymaker? What do you know? No, we don't know anything about it. So it sounds like this Plus consists more of like a coaching aspect to your business. Is that correct? You
Absolutely,
coach clients?
Yeah. The other part of my business besides bookkeeping is that I'm actually a licensed real estate agent in Washington as a business broker.
Oh, nice.
So I help people sell their business, which means I know how to value a business. So I know what a set of books should look like to give you the highest value when you want to sell your business. And really, from the day you open your doors, you should be thinking about selling your business just because it makes you run it in a particular way, that you make that bottom line look good and it looks valuable to the outside market, even if you never sell it and you hand it down to your kids or you lose it in the divorce.
Well, we buy. Love how everything just ties in. We strategically invite into studio the best of the best. That's what this show is about. And, what an amazing thing. I'm really a believer in having multiple businesses, but having those multiple business all connect with each other. I own a mortgage software, but it's connected to my mortgage business. I have a coaching program, but it's connected to my mortgage practice. And so I love that, Stephen, that your bookkeeping is you're helping people sell businesses, how to set it up. And so, really when you're a shout out and something to think about from your host here is when you're thinking about a bookkeeper and who to hire and what to look for somebody that can actually advise you through the entire process. So, I love that, Stephen. Tip for small, because I know you really well. We're part of a same networking group together, and Jeanette here in studio. It's kind of fun. We've got a little our little mini group in here, and I know your wife very well, Susie, and she's a business owner herself, and you work with a lot of small business owners. What would be a tip that you would have for a small business owner, something that's really important to them and continue to with growth?
Read the most important book that I think. There's been a lot written. It's called The E-Myth. It's a throwback kind of book, but it basically talks about what you just spoke about. People have something they love to do, so then they think they're going to go do that as their business, but they forget that they're now going into the sales, marketing, and financial management business, whatever you do. So you need to learn and grow those skills. Even if you're making a pie, you're really in the sales, marketing, and financial and maybe people management business, and that's dramatically different.
So true.
It's been bugging me, Stephen, this whole time. The question sitting in the back of my head.
Is that why you're moving so much?
I am. I'm a
there in the
fidgeter.
chair?
That's
I'm
just
like,
what I do.
Yeah.
Is Brooklyn, New York the answer?
No. Go Hawks, I guess. I don't know. But I was going to ask, what are some examples of, if you were thinking about being a business owner, what do you see as profitability? You know, it could be anything. Like I've heard teriyaki shops, bars, like any, you know, people have these crazy ideas. What is a good business, do you think?
The right business these days, I think, is hard to find people, but are service businesses. Because obviously technology is going crazy.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar's really hard. Restaurant, food management costs is tough. But I mean, I sold a business last year. Basically a guy who literally bought a couple of garage sweeping trucks. And all these high rises that were around right here, downtown Bellevue, downtown Seattle, he sends a crew out at night, they sweep, they clean. This is a service that's never going away.
Yeah.
Seal coating. There's blacktop everywhere. Car repairs. Nobody wants to be in the car repair business. Plumbing, electrician, they're not sexy.
Yeah.
There's no apps, but these things are needed.
What about
Buildings
What about landscaping?
Yeah, that's another good
Yeah.
one. But I'd rather be in California.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't be a landscaper, but you can own a company and have somebody else go out and do the job, right? So, Stephen, what about a biggest mistake that you see entrepreneurs make?
It's doing their books in the beginning, but not understanding the basics. I mean, buy QuickBooks for Dummies. I read it.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say. And not understanding what a journal entry is. And that's kind of, fancy bookkeeping talk, but CPAs...
Is that an explanation for everything that you're...
No, CPAs do them. It's the way you move around. So people just get overwhelmed by their books, and then they just make mistakes. And then one mistake just leads to another, just not understanding basically what double entry bookkeeping is that was created back in the Roman times.
Got it.
So when you hop into a business and walk us through that a little bit. You take a look at the books. Can you share with us like a success story and kind of what that looks like? If somebody takes you on, where do we go from here?
Well, it all depends on where they start. Some folks are, like I have somebody I'm engaging with right now where they've not really done any bookkeeping. They're just doing the bank account system version. So you can do nothing and do business all year and then go on your bank website and download it all into Microsoft Excel and figure it all out. But they want to get into real time. So QuickBooks Online, I hate to say it again, but pretty much those are the only folks I use. I get them on QuickBooks Online. I set up their chart of accounts. The beauty of QuickBooks Online is I'm on the telephone with them and we're saying, okay, look, here's what's going on. We're looking at the same thing at the same time and I don't have to be in a room with them and we can do whenever they want. So all of the success stories revolve around QuickBooks Online where they can go on there. And they're ultimately, half of them, when they do go on, a lot don't because they just feel so confident and comfortable that I have it.
Yeah.
But when they do go on, they go like, oh my God, this is so easy. I can find this information. Wow.
That's so awesome. And I always say when building a team, the biggest thing is to be able to trust and have confidence that they're doing their job. And you need to have a system set up to where you can see from the back end and monitor if there's something that needs help with. And it's kind of the same thing. I mean, they've got all of the data. They can see everything that's happening. So they've got that confidence and not have to worry about that you're doing everything at the very highest level. So, Stephen, as we're wrapping up our time here today, what would be a final share that you would have for our listeners?
Let's move on to the bling because this is the exciting part.
Oh, yeah, the bling.
This gorgeous woman to my
first
right.
talk about divorce, and then we talk about bookkeeping, and now we're going to bring in the middle, the warm and fuzzy bling. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for joining us in studio. It was a real pleasure to have you here, and of course, looking forward to having you come back.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next in the Money Hour, creating a personal and emotional investment and celebrating your big wins. Jeanette Baton of Dynamic Designs Jewelry right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW after the short break.
If you're thinking about getting engaged and don't know where to start, call Jeanette at Dynamic Designs Jewelry today. Jeanette is a personal jeweler you can trust with award-winning design experience and attention to detail that has impressed her clients for 35 years. As a diamond importer, Dynamic Designs offers a wide selection of diamond choices to fit any budget. With a large selection of designs from modern to vintage styles, Jeanette will make selecting the perfect ring easy and stress-free. Call Dynamic Designs to visit their Kirkland showroom and start creating jewelry memories to last a lifetime.
Hello, I'm Jeanette with Dynamic Designs Jewelry. Working by appointment allows me the time to learn the design elements she likes, her lifestyle, and together we will come up with ideas to create the ring of her dreams. For more information, call us today at 425-827-7722 or email me at info@dynamicdesignsjewelry.com.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell.
And co-host Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts. Each week we bring in the best of the best in studio right here to talk about everything regarding your money, and excited to have you here on the show today. If you're listening to our show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, Jeanette Baton of Dynamic Designs Jewelry, creating a personal and emotional investment and celebrating your big wins. Jeanette, thank you so much for coming in studio. So excited to have a conversation with you today.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Keelan. It's nice to be here.
And a little bit about Jeanette. Jeanette of Dynamic Designs Jewelry has made the experience of purchasing jewelry a rewarding one for thousands of clients with award-winning designs, attention to detail, and connection with her clients for 35 years. As a personal jeweler, her focus is on highly personalized service, designed to fit lifestyle and superior value to meet all her clients' jewelry needs, offering an extensive assortment of diamonds, gems, and fine jewelry for women and men. As a custom design specialist, she creates the jewelry of your dreams and redesigns your old jewelry into beautiful new works of art. Dynamic Designs offers personal appointments Monday through Saturday in a boutique-style Kirkland showroom, providing a relaxed professional atmosphere to enhance their customers' experience. And I have to say, I've been into her boutique shop, and it's just beautiful. I've got an appointment this weekend with my stepdaughter for a gift certificate I bought for her birthday. So excited to come in. I wanted to bring Jeanette in because this show is about money. It's about how to make money, save money, so you can have a better quality of life for your family and for yourself. And being confident and presenting yourself and feeling confident about that is a huge part of success. And so I just thought it was a great fit, especially here for the holidays, and just very excited to have you here, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Well, Jeanette, this hits pretty close to home. I got engaged, and I didn't know you at the time, but I wish I did, because we had a custom ring made, and it was like more of an antique style. And
it was way before I knew you, Jeanette.
Unfortunately, but I could attest to the kind of emotional attachment that we have, the creativity that we're involved, and how she feels about that ring to this day. She loves it. She cleans it 24/7 like it's crazy. Like, she loves her ring like no other because she made it. So can you attest to that, about how that feels for people and your experience with their emotional connection to their jewelry and your experience with that?
Yes, creating custom jewelry is really fun because you do put your heart and soul into it. Even if it's not custom made, if you just even have a special piece that marks a special time in your life, you hold that dear to your heart. If you remember anyone, you can ask, where did you get that? And they'll remember exactly the day they got it, what time, who it was from. And it just creates so many memories in your life. It holds a lot of precious, precious things with it.
So, Jeanette, what other occasions do you have people come to your store to see what's available for jewelry?
Lots. Of course, people getting engaged, but there's also birthdays, anniversaries. When people have babies, they'll do push presents. We also have people like buying jewelry like as a special celebration for themselves to kind of mark a big event or like an accomplishment that they had at work. We have like Mother's Day, Father's Day. I mean, there's like
so
always
many things.
The holidays. There's like so many times that you can use jewelry to kind of mark that special occasion and make someone feel really special.
Well, you don't have to mention the bracelet for normally with your gift to kids, the little calendar, and they open up each day, and but this is an actual
Advent calendar.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. This is actually a bracelet to where they get to open up each day, and it's a charm bracelet, and so it's just really creative with all of the things that you're able to do around jewelry that connects to all of the important times in our lives. So, Jeanette, what's an example of celebrating a personal win in business?
Well, many people have certain goals they set for themselves, but this last week I had a client come in that had been working over a year, long hours every day, and she finally reached the milestones in her client's project. And she came in wanting something to just reward herself. And so we helped her find a beautiful diamond bracelet that matched her watch so that she could wear them both together. And she loved it. She called me this week and just thanked me again for helping her really, really find something that let her know every time she looked at it, how nice it was to have something that showed her hard work really paid off.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to her.
That's awesome. When I made President's Council for the first time, I went and bought a Beamer. And I totaled it a year and a half later.
What?
Yeah.
No.
And if I would have got a piece of jewelry, I'd still have it. Gosh darn it.
That's awesome.
Shoulda, woulda,
So
coulda.
think about that the next time you see a
Exactly.
BMW. Call me for a diamond.
You got a personal jeweler right here.
I will. I would still have it. Good Lord. So what other fun celebration type events do people purchase jewelry for?
One of my clients, he was so sweet. He was getting ready to retire from Boeing, and he had worked there a long time, lots of hours away from home. And him and his wife are both my clients. Anyway, every year I travel to Antwerp to buy diamonds, and he called me and he asked me if I would go and find a 3-carat cushion-cut diamond for her.
Ooh.
And I said, well, what's this for? And he goes, it's for my retirement. He goes, think of all the years she's fixed dinner and I didn't come home. Think of all the things I did, but that I was at work and she took care of everything. And she was so thrilled and excited. She still loves it. We created a custom ring for it. And not only did she feel special and loved, she felt really appreciated. And it's just another thing, just kind of marking, he worked so hard, but he knows how much she held together the family and everything, and he did that to celebrate her for his
So beautiful.
for his retirement.
My husband is an amazing husband, but I hope he's listening to this show because he's never got me a piece of jewelry outside my wedding ring. It's kind of a joke with us. I mean, it's
I think
it's just
you need
he's
to buy
not.
something
He's a
for-
very practical guy. He's he buys me like tires for my car, really expensive, nice tires. I mean, I drive a Jag, so they're expensive, but. Anyways, whole nother conversation. So
You can be a much bigger hero with some jewelry rather than tires.
That's what I say. But I appreciate him for the man that he is. We've been married for
Exactly.
23 years, and but someday I was just thinking when you're giving that story, that's going to be my husband. He's going to be racking up all those times he never got me a piece of jewelry and all those amazing things that I did, and he's going to come and pick it up. So, Jeanette. Listeners might be asking, a personal jeweler, does it cost more money to work with you versus just going into a cookie cutter jewelry shop?
No, it doesn't. And actually, we work really hard to create good, really good fair value for great quality jewelry. Mm-hmm. And by working by appointment, it's kind of actually given me more time to create that special relationship with my clients where I get to know them really well. They get to know me. They feel comfortable. They know they can trust me and they can tell me anything. And it just works really, really well. If I can listen and know exactly what it is that they want, then I can make sure that what they're getting is exactly what they want with
that's
all
why
the
you have your
details.
clients coming back so many times throughout the process of getting more jewelry.
Over 35 years,
Yeah,
they've
it's
either
crazy.
referred people to me or their friends or family. And I've worked with, generations of families that have grown to just trust me and know that when they come to me that, they can talk. They can tell me their stories. Mm-hmm. They can tell me all the things that are in their heart. And we wrap that into jewelry, creating little pieces of joy.
Wow, love that.
When I was ring shopping, it seemed like it came down to quality, value, or service, like, bang for your buck type of thing. Which do you, prefer, and what do you provide for your clients? What is your take?
I really try and do a balance of all three because quality is important and quality is different to everybody. So I listen to what's most important to them. And value, I always try and get you the best for your money. So whatever your budget is, I try and work on getting you the best quality that I can for whatever it is you're looking for. And then service, I mean, it's unparalleled. I mean, we work by appointment, giving you our 100% attention, making sure every detail is taken care of. And just, you're going to work with me or my staff, and you just come to realize that we're there for you and we take care of it. You don't have to worry about a thing. It just makes it easy breezy for you to have all kinds of wonderful jewelry and know that it's protected and safe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool because not every rock is created equal. And so I'm sitting here trying to figure out, size versus quality versus, and there's a lot of parts of that equation. That's huge, Jeanette, that you help, your customers navigate that in such an expensive thing and such a stressful. Does she like it? There's a lot of emotions tied into it,
I
right?
feel like a lot of times when I'm working with men, when they're getting engaged, those questions come up. They have a certain budget in mind. They've never looked at a diamond before. They often compare it to some car part that would cost that amount. And so I have to bring it back to reality and kind of tell them what we're dealing with so that they know the subtle differences that makes the differences. And really find out what's most important to them and really, really find something that's going to create that jewelry memory for their engagement or whatever it is that they're buying it for.
Love that. And, I love your tag to your business, create jewelry memories for a lifetime. So how do you do that, Jeanette? I know we've talked a lot about it right here, but...
Yeah, many, many ways. I think finding out what's important to people. One of the pieces that's most special to me right now that I wear a lot is a necklace that I created for my mom 17 years ago. And it has 5 diamonds for her 5 children. When she was passing away, she gave that to me. And we had just started carrying memento jewelry, which was pearls with a microchip inside that we could record a message. So I asked her to record a message in that for me. And part of her message said, I'll always be in her heart and she'll always love me. So I dangle that pearl from the heart necklace that I made for her 17 years from that. And I wear it and it feels like I have a piece of my mom next to my heart. And when you create those jewelry memories and your family sees you wearing them, they feel like one day when it gets passed down to them, they still have a piece of you with them.
Yeah.
And it's very comforting, and it really does create that memory to last a lifetime.
Well, when you're wearing something and it's with you all the time, makes total sense. Yeah.
Jeanette, mind blown. How does that work? You can infuse something into a stone? Please. I want to know more about this. Yeah.
Oh, Vincent's hands up as
Vincent's
well.
hands up. What is this about?
We have them in the store. You can come in and see them. So,
And talk about how, you open your store up you have little get-togethers where people come in. It's kind of like an open house thing, right?
Sometimes we have ladies' nights. Sometimes we have different events. But most of the time we work by appointment, so you have one-on-one attention. But the memento pearls actually have a microchip inside the pearl. And so you can actually record the message and you actually have their voice to listen to. So
how do you listen to it?
With your phone. Because you use your phone as the recorder and then you just...
Technology.
You scan the pearl.
It even one-time the jewelry experience.
Scan the pearl over your phone and the app opens up and it plays her voice.
That is the coolest thing.
That is so cool.
Well, guys can't wear... Well, I guess they could wear pearls. I'm trying to think.
Now we're making some men's cufflinks with black pearls.
Oh my gosh.
That will have
black pearls.
That will have have their father's voice on it that we're doing as a Christmas present this year.
Wow.
Sold. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah,
Sold.
you need to talk about that.
I'm in.
So, Jeanette, do people ever change or update their wedding rings?
Yes. A lot of times when people have gotten married, what I find people now that have been married 10, 15, 20, 30 years, their rings are starting to wear out, but they feel like when they first got married, their budget was very small.
Yeah.
So they have a tiny little diamond, smaller than what their daughters are getting married and wearing now. And it's starting to wear out. And when you think of who you were 20, 25 years ago, you don't wear the same clothes. Hopefully you don't have the same hairstyle. You're not the same person you were then, and you're probably not in the same economic status you were then. And so a lot of people are coming in and choosing a style that really fits their style now and updating it, maybe upgrading to a larger diamond. and just kind of really showing where they're at now in their life. And it's very, very fun.
Yeah.
So you've already started my wish list. So how do you recommend that that I continue on my wish list?
Every one of our clients have a wish list available to them. And so what we do is we have people put the things that they like maybe for the future or things that they enjoy and have them put it on their wish list. And then when their spouse or their family want ideas for them for special occasions, then we have that there. And it's been very beneficial. It made a lot of men heroes during the holidays. We can wrap it up really easy, make you look like the hero, and make it just as easy as can be.
That's awesome.
Jeanette, thank you so much for being here with us in studio. It was a real pleasure and excited to have you back in.
Thank you for having me.
And you have a smile like sparkly jewelry.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
And this is your host, Tina Mitchell.
And co-host Keelan Harvey.
Signing off for the day, your local mortgage experts, and may peace be with all of you over the holidays. And we'll be here, same time, same place, next Saturday, right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group LLC and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group LLC.